Hey everyone, Couch Investor here back with another video for you today. So let's talk about Roblox. Roblox has had actually a great start since going public. The stock is up over 40% since they went public earlier this year. So great, right? Because most growth companies, most growth stocks out there have been hit pretty hard. So for Roblox to be up that much is pretty impressive, especially since it got this tag on its name that it's just a COVID stock and nobody will play the game after the pandemic is over. Obviously, they've proved most people wrong. But in this video, I'm going to talk about the recent numbers that we've got for the month of November, talk a bit about the numbers from October, and then how the company might fare in the future, because their main goal is still to reach 1 billion daily active users. Right now, they're very far from that, but we'll have a talk about all of this in this video. So sit back and relax, maybe hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, we're on the way to 20,000 subscribers. So I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. So Roblox right now still growing revenue around 100% year over year. The stock isn't cheap, trading at around 30 times trailing 12 months sales. So not cheap at all, but still growing extremely fast. So that's great to see. And they've proven that they're not really just a COVID play. Now let's go and have a quick look at their recent numbers. So we've got the numbers from November here. Daily active users came in at 49.4 million, up 35% year over year. Hours engaged were 3.6 billion, up 32% year over year. Then estimated bookings for November were between 208 and $211 million. That's up at the midpoint 23% year over year. Estimated average bookings per daily active users, this is very important, remember this number, was between $4.21 and $4.27, but that was actually down 8 to 9% year over year. You might start to ask questions. How can this be? They're still growing. So why is this going down? Going to talk about that in just a bit. And revenue is estimated to be between 184 and 187 million, up 84 to 87% year over year. So these numbers looked very good, right? And yet the stock has gone down when this was announced. Why? Well, let's have a look at what happened in October. So in October, the company experienced an outage of around 3 days. So that's why you see here through the first 27 days of October prior to the outage on those 3 categories. So back then, the daily active users were actually higher than in November, 50.5 million, an increase of 43% year over year. Cumulative hours of engagement were 3.2 billion, up 41% year over year. And then the bookings were estimated to be between 177 and 179 million, an increase between 30 to 34% year over year. So some might have thought that for the month of November, since there was no outage there, they had Thanksgiving, we might have expected maybe better numbers to come out of that month. But still, the numbers weren't that bad. Now you might remember the numbers I told you to remember, the decrease of 8 to 9% there. Why did that actually happen, and how can that be if the company keeps on growing over those 30 to 40% year over year? Well, they actually explained it in the last quarterly earnings. But first, I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 free stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Now, Stock Advisor has beat the market by more than 4x. So all you have to do is go to fool.com/couchinvestor to get your free 10 stock picks now. So these were the numbers that were reported back in Q3. Roblox attracted an average of 47.3 million daily active users, which was 31% higher than in Q3 2020 and 2.6 times larger than Q3 2019. Approximately 50.4% of the users were over the age of 13, compared to 44.5% last year. So there goes half a bear case that Roblox is just for little kids. User growth in Q3 2021 was the highest in the Asia Pacific region, growing 75% over the last year. APAC users now represent 20% of daily active users. And you can see here as well, engagement growth was highest in Asia Pacific region, growing 89% over the last year. And now comes the reason why the average booking per daily active users is a bit lower and has been a bit lower actually each and every quarter. They say here the small decline was due to a shift in the geographic mix of their user base, which means that Roblox is actually growing faster in those areas than the way they can monetize those users. Obviously, in those types of areas, you cannot monetize the users the same way you do in the West. In Europe and in North America, you will probably be able to monetize much better. But in those areas, especially if you're growing extremely fast, you will probably see those positive effects in the long future. But in the short term, it will probably hit the numbers like we've seen the last couple of quarters. So really, there's nothing to be worried about. Maybe in the long term, if they cannot monetize those users, then yes. Now, like I said at the start of this video, and they reiterated this vision back when they had their Investors Day. By the way, if you haven't watched that, it's 4 hours long, but it's pretty impressive. They said again that the long-term goal is to reach 1 billion daily active users. And as we've seen, there's still a long way to go. But if you've been following the company, if you've been following news around, a lot of big companies are starting to engage with these types of platforms. We've seen it with Nike, we've seen it with Chipotle. I don't know why at first when I heard Chipotle a couple of years ago, I thought it was Chipotle, but hey, it's not. Now, Nike, for example, with Nikeland, they made a huge announcement that they're going to create this Nikeland in Roblox. Great way to advertise, great way to engage with new users as well. Chipotle, when they opened their virtual restaurant, was also a huge hit. So for me, this is just the start. Obviously, I do not own any Roblox share currently in my portfolio, but I'm a big fan of the company. I would like to know if any of you holds Roblox in their portfolio. Maybe you play the game, maybe your kids play the game. Let me know down in the comments below. Probably it's Christmas, so maybe you might have bought some Robux for your kids or so. Let me know that in the comments below. And that will be it for this video. If you liked it, consider leaving a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe hit that subscribe button. As always guys, take care, stay safe, and see you all in the next video. Bye bye.